to Press Start, your weekly gaming news. I'm your host, Monkeychow, and boy do we have a lot to talk about this week. So strap yourself in and get ready, because it's time to talk about the buzzworthy news of the week of December 4th. So starting off the news this week, if you notice that thing behind me there, yeah, I kind of like playing on that sometimes. And some of the games that I play, fighting games, I grew up on them. I used to go into arcades, I used to pop my quarters right down on them. I used to play a whole bunch, and one of them that I used to play, Mortal Kombat, baby. And Mortal Kombat 1, long story, don't ask, is coming out with a DLC next week on the 14th. And guess who they got? They got Kwai Chi. But not only do they have Kwai Chi, the crazy wizard bad guy of the series, they got this guy. And let me tell you folks, Peacemaker is amazing. He is so cool in this game. And yeah, a little bit of a show off.
No one likes to show off.
Unless what they're showing off is dope as
So for those of you that have the game, go ahead and check it out. The DLC's there. They're part of a character DLC pack, and he's one of them coming out next week. And you better believe I'm going to be spinning that up, playing it on the cabinet. We're going to be having fun with this game. Next up on the docket, Payday 3. Game that didn't have a great launch. Not as bad as other ones we're going to talk about later. But Payday 3 has a new DLC finally coming out sometime next week. There's no specific date for it, but this is called Syntax Error. Why is it called Syntax Error? Well, you are going to be fighting an AI overlord in a data center. There are new weapons. There are new bad guys. There's a whole lot of new things being added to this, but specifically, your bad guys got drones. And not only does he have drones, but they're giving you a whole new perk set that allows you to take over the drones. That is amazing. It looks cool. The whole level looks really neat. Something fun to play with the heist. It's good to see that they're finally adding in this type of content. They've added in the legacy ones the last 2 weeks. I might end up playing Payday 3 next week, show you guys a little bit. But they've added in a brand new heist, brand new mechanics, and they brought back some of their old characters. Yay! So, Payday 3, new heist, sometime next week. Worth looking at. If you guys like Payday 3, I would say check it out. So far, they're on good rolls. Since they've fixed a lot of the problems they've had with the game, they have only got upwards from here, folks, and this is going to be a great game to play. Moving on, Sea of Thieves. If you guys checked out a little bit of my channel and looked into history, you're going to see I've played a lot of this game. In fact, I think I've actually played more of this game than I have any other game within my library. So I have gone all the way from their beta through where they're at right now with Sea of Thieves. I've seen this whole sea change, the whole game change, everything be added to it. And on this past Thursday, on December 7th, they added something seriously special to Sea of Thieves. They call it Safer Seas. So what is Safer Seas? One of the biggest complaints of Sea of Thieves is its core premise, unfortunately. It is the fact that PvP, you're doing a mission, and somebody comes up, and they steal from you. And you know what? That's called being a pirate. But when Sea of Thieves added what they call Tall Tales, which is their story mode that is integrated directly into the game, which is fantastic. Gotta go check those out, folks. If you've never played Sea of Thieves and never seen them, you gotta see how they integrated the story. But one of the complaints that folks had with the stories is the fact that you're starting to do your Tall Tale, you're most of the way through the story, you've picked up that special item, and you don't make it back to the outpost to sell it. And because you didn't make it back to the outpost to sell it, now you got to start the whole thing over again, or at least from the checkpoint, which is usually a good hour or two worth of gameplay. So one of the things that they've made to try to help new players come into the game is called Safer Seas. Safer Seas, it's just you and your crew. They made it fair. You're not going to get everything in Safer Seas. You get less gold, you get less reputation. You can't do some of the things that you can do on what they're now calling Higher Seas. And Higher Seas is the normal game where you can do other things in them. But you can do a heck of a lot of stuff within it. You can still progress your milestones. You can still progress your achievements. You can still get gold. You can still run pieces. It's a good place to start within Sea of Thieves, record content in Sea of Thieves, or even just go to play the Tall Tales. Go check them out with the Tall Tales and the adventures that they build. Fantastic addition. I know some people don't like it. Some people say, oh no, you made your PvE servers. Well, so what? So what? Doesn't hurt anything. You're not getting any better in it. There's no progression in this game. It's all cosmetic. So Go back to the seas, you trolls. Highly recommend if you want a pirate sandbox, go take a look. Check in some of my previous videos. You're going to see that I played a lot of it. And I'll probably jump back in on stream. So make sure you guys are checking out my stream. So I would be remiss if I did not mention that the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer dropped this week. Huge game, folks. If you don't know what Grand Theft Auto is, do you play games? Because Grand Theft Auto is a giant game. Wow, the graphics are so much better. Everyone looks so lifelike within this game. I'm going to pop the trailer down within the description. You should check it out. Couple things of note. You're going to see that they've basically made a mock Florida. They're calling it Leonida? They made a whole parody off of it. And I mean parody. You should go look at some of the controversy going on with that. Could have asked folks for their likeness. It says it's coming out in 2025 on the consoles. They always delay the PC version. So those of us that play on the PC and don't spend a lot of time in other rooms, 2027. That's what we're looking at. But it will be out earlier, just like the other games. It's going to be on consoles. They said it's going to be on PS5. It's going to be on the newest Xbox with letters after it. Check it out. Check the trailer. This is going to be a fun heist. Looks like the story is going to be fun. Looks like the gameplay is going to potentially be fun if everything that you saw in that trailer is in the game. Okay, then we're going to have fun. That's a new place to roleplay in. Grand Theft Auto 6 coming out in 2025. Last but not least, folks, December 7th seemed to be the day. You're going to find that theme throughout this video today. But December 7th, everything released, and Vampire Survivor dropped a stealth update. They dropped their adventure mode, which is a remixed version of different levels that they have within Vampire Survivor, so that you have something different. And a story? A story of some of the crazy chaos that's happening behind within it. But not only did they launch that update, which is pretty cool, go check it out, it's free, but they're going to do a DLC with Among Us. They're calling it Emergency Warning. You're getting all new Among Us characters. You're getting 15 new weapons and artifacts and things that you can use. A brand new level to go through. Great music. The music in the trailer is amazing. Check out the trailer below. But this is going to be a whole nother update. This game is worth your time. It's $5, folks. $5. That's the price of a Starbucks coffee. So go check it out. This is one of the best games that has come out in a long time. Pick up Vampire Survivors. Check out the crossover DLC next week. I'm probably going to put something in the video next week because I almost guarantee I'm going to be playing it. Especially just to see what the characters from Among Us do. I'm curious how they make each one of them different. Now, we're going to move on to a news segment. It's going to pop up every so often depending on how the news of the week went. And this is where I'm going to talk about some of the hot topics of the week and what I'm calling the Hot Minute. Alright, it's time to talk about a game that released this week that I mentioned last week that is very polarizing, and I got to play it. I played it, spoilers so that you don't have to. This is called The Day Before. The Day Before released on the 7th. It is an extraction shooter. Don't listen to what it says in Steam. Do not read anything that you read up about this or any of the previous history. It is nothing that the developers said this game was going to be. It is straight up an extraction shooter. Which, preface, there's nothing wrong with that. I love extraction shooters. I love all the different types of styles where you go in, you have something to lose, and your goal is to sneak and get the heck out of there with things that you've got. So, prefacing, the concept I like. I like the idea that The Day Before is a zombie game that you go into the city, try to scavenge as much as you can, have PvP, and try to get out. There's nothing wrong with that. That's fun, that premise of it. So I jumped in on Thursday, picked it up right as it came out, jumped on in to see what it was all about, and, well, at the very beginning of the game, this happened.
Can you get up? Try to get off the bed.
Yep, that happened. And then this happened. This can't be right. So the very first impression that most streamers, most content creators had with this game was dying before you could even play the game. And I thought it was a joke, and as you see, happened twice to me. I finally got in, put it aside, game-breaking bug, maybe it's still okay. Moved into the world. Now, I can tell you one thing, is that this game locked up OBS and my computer multiple times. I had to restart my stream, I had to restart my computer multiple times for it. I can play other games flawlessly on this thing, folks. This game had some problems just trying to run. But again, optimizations, different PCs, put that aside. I tried to see the game for what it was worth, what you had within it. Run around, the basic concept is an extraction shooter. Again, not what's advertised. They've got stuff there, it's not intuitive. The UI is garbage. The UI, you can't tell what attachments go onto what weapons. You cannot tell where you are supposed to go. You can't change settings. Good luck trying to do that. Dear Lord, the game locked up every time I did it within the settings. I moved into the world. This is a zombie game with no zombies. They barely come out. Now, when they come out, it's cool. They come barging out of a car, or they come popping out from behind something, and you hear them go grrr and come running at you, and I think I just did their sound effect for them. You got to shoot them when your weapon could hit them. They're bullet sponges, even if you shoot them in the head. We tried multiple times. We tried to shoot them with it. We said, okay, well, I wonder why this is not working. Then there's nothing in the world. Every time you go into a spot, it's like I went into a house, and could I find things in a house? Nope, there's nothing in the house. There's nothing even to pick up. No loot, nothing for it. Or I would go into a tiny little box and I would magically find a giant jacket, like 10 of them in there. It made no sense. So I tried to stream it. I tried to say, okay, well, let's see how multiplayer is. Multiplayer trying to get together is one of the biggest frustrating things in a long time. There's no words for it. You have to refresh the servers multiple times. You both have to try to find the same server together, and you have to refresh to see if you get on them, and maybe you get on it, maybe you don't, which was some server problems that they had. But you can't invite your friends. You can't jump with your friends. You can walk up to somebody, invite them into a squad. So how are you supposed to play with your friends? And the servers, you can't tell what's full. You can't tell what's not. You don't know how many they have. You don't know what the ping is of the server. So you can't even pick the correct server. All this goes to say, folks, that this game was not ready. I'm baffled in thinking that this was going to be released as a full version of a game this past January. A year ago, they said they were going to release this as a full game. There is no earthly way. That is not reality. That is some other multiverse. We'll see where it goes. If it gets any better, I'll talk about it on the channel, but this is the last you're going to hear about it. I tried it out on Thursday. I gave it a shot for everybody. Save your money. Pass on this one. There are a lot better games that you're going to hear about later. Absolutely worth your time. All right, folks, one last one in the Hot Minute this week that deserves to be talked about. Just like in Hollywood, where you have the Grammys, the Oscars, you have all different types of award shows for your different movies and television shows that come out. We have ones in the gaming world as well. And that's called the Game Awards. It was on this week. It was about 3.5 hours long. You could see it all online. You could watch it on different stations. And you want to know about how much time all the award winners had to talk? A fraction of the show. When your show becomes this meme, you've got problems. I mean, look, folks. An award show's about the people getting the awards. I understand you need money, you need sponsors, you gotta get them to pay the bills, keep the lights on, put the production on. But it's an award show. It's about your people. If you're not gonna make the award show about your people and you're just gonna make it about money, no one's gonna watch it. So that came up this week. That was really disrespectful to all of the award winners. My heart goes out to every one of the developers, anyone who won an award there. I hope they got to say whatever they needed to say online and in other venues, because they deserve it. We have great games that come out over the years, and this is the time for them to celebrate. So make it about the people that deserve it. That's all I'm going to say on that, folks. Hopefully it changes next year. We'll see. And now it's time to jump in the gauntlet, see the games that I played this week, and I think we got some good ones that you guys are going to like. starting off, I know that I said there was a lot of Survivor-likes out there. A lot of the ones that are like Vampire Survivor, they're a dime a dozen on Steam. You can find a billion of them. But there is one that I truly suggest you guys look into. It's this. Extremely Powerful Capybaras. That's right. That's the name of it, folks. The art in this is fantastic. It is your basic Vampire Survivor. You are going to move around. You are going to kill things. You are going to level up. You're going to have progression where you bring things back directly into your hub world and you make meta progression of them. You unlock new classes. You add extra abilities that show up in your runs. But it's 4-player, and the art style just makes this different. You're going to see, I went through multiple levels. You walk through the levels, you try to outlast far to the end of the level, and then they got a boss character. And the boss characters are fantastical. Look at this. Look at this boss character. This is insane. And you go through and you kill them and you move on to the next level. I played the demo of this a while ago. I've seen multiple streams of folks doing it while the demo was out. And I decided, hey, I really do need to try this. And when I jumped in, I popped it onto the arcade cabinet behind me. I've popped it onto my controller. It's just a ton of fun. And if you're looking for an easy, accessible 4-player Vampire Survivor with just a different twist to it. Crazy little capybaras that you can level up and you can evolve. So check it out. It's on Steam. Extremely Powerful Capybaras. One of the things that I love to do, I love to just go through the new releases within Steam and look for those tiny hidden gems. Not the ones that everybody is hitting thumbs up on and giving positive reviews. I'm looking for things that just look different, look unique. I stumbled upon one this past week called Talented. Talented looks like it could be on a Game Boy, but it's a roguelite like everything else, and it's a slightly different way of playing them. What do I mean by that? Well, tower defense. Check this out. Tower defense where it's actually hitting each of these lanes. Up, down, left, right. Very simple. Don't let the monsters touch you. They cannot touch you at all or you lose those hearts that you see. Well, why is this different? I can have things walking me all day long. Talents. The talents are procedurally generated. Don't give me that look, folks. I know. I get it. That could be an utter train wreck. You have no idea what talents are coming. How in the world do you build your build? I thought the same thing, but it works. As you are moving up the talent tree, it spawns different rarities of different types of abilities. So you get blue ones, you get purple ones, you get green ones, and each of them are in the style of whatever character you're playing. So I played as the archer, I think it is, that it was called. I was playing the archer, I was moving through, I was shooting things, and everything was about speed, everything was about hitting harder or knockback so that they would stay farther away from you. And you just select a direction in the skill tree, and if you see something else, you try to move to it. Every time you survive a night, you get skill point, and you level up as you go through them. Those skill points you apply to talents, rinse, repeat. The idea is you are supposed to make a certain number of levels, and then you get to a boss. Spoiler alert, didn't do that. Did not make it to any one of them. But I got pretty far down, and it was actually fun. And you know what? It's $2. $2. Simple little game. Surprisingly easy to play. I recommend checking this out. If you like tower defenses, you like something different that's not done in any other games, check out Talented. And sticking on the trend of roguelikes, I did not know in 2023 that I would be uttering the sentence, I would like a Mad Max driving game that's sort of like Twisted Metal, but it's a card game. That's what this game is. This game is called Death Road's Tournament. Death Road's Tournament, other than the fact that it may make you sick from watching the road move the entire time. Check this out. This is insane. Other than that, I was genuinely surprised with how good this game is. This is a roguelike. Like everything else, you are trying to traverse from the West Coast to the East Coast. Everything has been destroyed. Seriously, think Mad Max, think Twisted Metal. You pretty much got the premise of this. You're driving a car, you're trying to make it before everybody else in the Death Roads tournament. You are getting skills that are positional based on the board. You move your car around, and as you move your car around, you are able to play other abilities that will attack any of the mobs that are on the screen with you in different directions. So you have to play positions in order to do good at this game. Not only that, you've got a skid mechanic. If you do too much on your turn and you overdo your amount of energy that you have, or handling, as they call it, if you overdo it, you go into a skid. And based on the gear that you're in, the higher the gear, the more risk you have with your skid deck, because you're moving up and down and you're hitting other cars, you're moving off the road, and it's super important because you're going to get hurt within your car. You have to avoid skid at all costs. But your deck is the parts on your car. As you defeat the different mobs, you're getting more parts, and those parts you can install on your car. And when you install them on your car, you get a new piece of cards on your deck. Crazy, crazy theme, folks. This theme is amazing. It actually works. I love the fact that everything has a purpose in it. I also love that when you are trying to go to some of the places like repairing, or you get into a node that you need to do an upgrade to your car, if you don't need it, they give you currency instead. You get a branching path. This branching path allows you to get things instead of going directly and using the space. I can't count how many other games, such as like Slay the Spire or any deck building game like that, where you go to a node and sometimes it's useless and you just move on from it. Now nothing's useless. You get something for nothing as you go through. And you're just trying to build yourself up to get to the end. Again, neat little deck building game. Go check it out on Steam. This game was fun. If you like these kinds of games, you like these deck building games, you want something that's a little bit more tactical so that you have to move around with it, check it out. Fun game, Death Roads Tournament. As promised last week, I got to play Dancing with Smurfs. Yes! Avatar Frontiers of Pandora released on Thursday. And folks, it was as good as I thought it would be. Now, was it perfect? No. I had a lot of texture popping issues. I had to restart different parts of the game multiple times to have the texture start popping. But this game is gorgeous. Look at this view as I'm walking through. I can't even put to words how beautiful this is and how smooth it is as you're jumping around. The story is actually canon to the Avatar universe, which is neat. It's neat that they're adding that in the game. I hope that doesn't, translate horribly over to movies. I hope it's just nods into the next movie. And interestingly enough, they even mentioned the fact, why did the RDA come back? Because they don't talk about unobtainium. Spoiler alert for Avatar 2. But they don't mention unobtainium for whatever reason. They mention it in the game. They mention the fact that they're like, why are they back? They're not going for unobtainium. So they are bridging it into the story. I thought that was kind of neat. From a gameplay perspective, though, this is Far Cry. This is Far Cry Primal. I loved Far Cry Primal, especially because I get a bow and arrow. That's right, I have a bow and arrow. I have a thing for this. I don't know why. When I'm playing first-person shooters, if you can give me a bow and arrow, I'm going to take a bow and arrow. And it's just so much fun. You go around, you take them out with the bow and arrow, you're jumping around all over the place. The mobility you have is great. It's fun. It's fun to jump around and shoot things down below. You have all different types of abilities. You can pick up tech. You can grab different types of EMP and stun grenades. You can grab guns. I didn't use the gun while I was playing. I just used the bow and arrow because shut up. And I kept moving on with it. It's got the normal quest. You've got the fetch quest that you have to go through. I will say one thing. I didn't realize I was still in the tutorial at one point. So I have a bad habit of trying to go around and just explore everything and ignore what it tries to tell me to do. And I started going around, and you can actually get out of bounds before it starts the story. And when it finally starts the story and you start seeing the credit roll and the name of the game, then I went, oh, and that, folks, was somewhere, at least with me, it took about an hour to get to. So I would assume a normal person that doesn't do crazy stuff that I do, probably taking about 30 minutes to get through. So the opening is pretty long that you walk through, but it's pretty cinematic as well. It's fun to be running. It's fun to see all the different things that pop off, especially when you first walk into Pandora. That is so cool. That moment is amazing. The video is not going to do it any credit. When you do it yourself, you'll see what I'm saying, how beautiful it is. You walk in, you start running around, you jump up into the trees. I couldn't ask for more, folks. I mean, again, I'm simple. I loved Far Cry Primal. That wasn't necessarily one of the favorite games of the Far Cry series of everybody, but this is what it reminded me of. going around, hunting different animals, getting all different types of materials from the animals you're getting so you can craft better and more experienced things. Again, fun game. I played it. Check it out. Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. It's on Ubisoft, and I believe it's on Epic Store as well. I thought it was worth the time. Let you guys make your own decision. Moving on to Chaos. I'm the Lord of Chaos, folks. Just what I do. And some games give me exactly what I need. Full chaos. Now, Call of Duty. I like when they do the one-off modes. Things like DMZ, zombies, different ideas that they do with it. One mode they added to Warzone, they call Plunder. And what is Plunder? Plunder is a fast-paced, give me the cash, all your cash is mine, and you go grab it, and you have to bank it before you die. First to 2 million monies sets off the map to have it go into overtime, and everybody's trying to rush to get more money through it. You can play solos, you can play squads of up to 4 people, but guess what they added this time? They added flamethrowers. Do you know why this is good? Here's why. He's blowing my stuff up. That adds a level of new chaos to this game that was not in it before. Yes, close range. It's very situational. You need to bring another gun with you. But wow, the moments we had when we can burn, as you just saw, when you can burn people, run through them. It is so much fun. And again, it's free. This is just part of Warzone. If you download Warzone today, you can play Plunder. You don't have to pay a cent. It's on everything, every console. So go grab it, go download it, jump into Plunder. Can't say enough good things about it, folks. When the action is hot and heavy, when it is chaotic, when it is competitive, you've hit my sweet spot. And that's the type of games I love playing. On that note, as I said, December 7th was a big day. So many things were announced. So many things stealth dropped, like this game, the Finals. So what is the Finals? The Finals is a reality TV show where you have squads of folks that your goal is simple. Similar to Plunder that I just said, you have a mode where kill people, get money, go pick up boxes and get money, go deposit it. First one to get all the way to 40,000 wins. They also have a mode where it's similar to some other first-person shooters or multiplayer game modes that you've seen, where you grab a box, everyone's going to the same box they call a vault, and you got to go stash the vault, and then you have to protect what you're stashing. First one to get 2 of those in wins. Simple enough. Why is this different? Not only is it the reality TV show style, which is very different, all the commentators and the crowd that you've got that's with it is fantastic, but everything in this world is destructible. I mean, everything is destructible. There were times where we are fighting, we were shooting folks, and the entire building came down on top of us. There were times when we said, hey, we need to get into spots, and oh yeah, Kool-Aid Man goes flying on through the wall, bust through so you can run behind them and sneak up on a team. Or, hey, this is below me, make a hole, and you shoot an RPG and blow a hole in the place to get down to it. Absolutely insane. The pace of this game is fast-paced. No idea that this was going to launch. They didn't tell anybody that this was launching. The last time I played the beta of it a couple of weeks ago, they didn't know when it was going to launch. They were thinking 2024. But, surprise, it came out. The servers are even holding. I can't make this up. Unlike that other game that I mentioned that had tons of problems with servers, tons of problems with the game, this launched free. F-R-E-E. You heard me right, folks. It's free. Downloaded. The servers are holding themselves up. The cosmetics that you can actually pay for are worth it. They are insane. You can make yourself look as oddball as you want. But not only that, they have a tournament mode in this. So it's like a bracket. You do a 4v4 bracket where you're trying to get the top 2 teams that then move on to the second round of the bracket. All 4 of those teams fight each other. and then they move on to the finals. We made it to the second bracket. Top 4 teams fighting each other. Now, it was insane action. We lost, but that's cool. They added another reason to go play and replayability with it. So, folks, I honestly say anybody who is a fan of first-person shooters, anyone who loves chaotic action, if you download Plunder, like I mentioned before, you're gonna like this game. You're gonna love Finals. It's on Steam. It's on consoles. Go download this game. This game is fantastic. The Finals. Last but not least, another stealth game, at least to me. Let me preface this, folks. I heard that Legos were going to be in Fortnite. But okay, Fortnite is picking up Legos. And it's probably going to be some skins. They probably have some stuff in the creative mode where people are building everything similar to Roblox. That's what I thought it was. But it's a lot more than that. Lego Fortnite is not Fortnite. It's not the creative mode. It is a partnership between Lego and Epic where they have made an entirely new game inside of the Fortnite engine. You got to download Fortnite to get it, which again, free. Notice the trend of the last couple games I've said? Free. But you download Fortnite, and inside of Fortnite, they have a new mode called Lego Fortnite. What is it? Lego Fortnite is what happens when you mash up any of those Lego brawler games. So think of the Star Wars Lego, think of the Marvel Lego games. If you take that, you mash it with Minecraft, and you add some of the mechanics from Fortnite, from the OG Fortnite, the original one saved the world, that came out before Battle Royale. If you mash them together, you get this game. So, this is a procedurally generated game in which you have all new environments. You are trying to craft. You are trying to upgrade. You've got this village mechanic where you can actually bring in NPCs that can help you go out into the world and fight or go resource forage for you, or can even craft stuff using your crafting benches. You have a tower defense mechanism where you've got every night different types of skeletons spawn or wolves spawn at you that you have to keep away from your base that you are building up. And it's 8-player. It's 8-player. You've got an 8-player Minecraft game that literally rivals Minecraft. It's gorgeous. It's in Unreal Engine 5. The first time I jumped into this, I was blown away by the graphics. That this looks better than most of the Lego games that are on the consoles. So, again, if you like Minecraft, you like brawling games, you like the idea of going and searching throughout the different world, this is a fully fleshed out game that came out of nowhere. I started playing it, and again, I got sucked in for multiple hours. Probably going to be playing with my kids, probably going to be playing with friends. This is a good one. Don't miss this. And that's about all the time we have for this week, folks. Hope you enjoyed Press Start. Again, really appreciate you taking the time, sitting here with me, going over this week's games. We'll have another one again next week, but if you enjoyed this, folks, please just go below, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. They're free. They take 2 seconds. They help the algorithms. Comment down below. If you made it this far, go put it into the comments. Bacon is forever. That's right. I'll know you put it in there. Let's go ahead and make it to the end of this video. I appreciate it. If you want to see me go live, I'm live every Thursday night on Twitch and on here on YouTube. Come check it out. Some of the games there are always featured in these videos. But it is time to press pause. Appreciate the time. We'll see you next time.